first day of class can be daunting. There's so much to think about. You have maybe new students to get to know, or you may be using a new curriculum, and that's the day that you're wanting to establish guidelines and rules and new relationships, and also to get your students excited about the lessons to come. On the first day, the writer's warm-up is a great way to establish language that will help us for the rest of class. By playing some games that help us learn to control our bodies and our voices and our imaginations and to work on concentration and cooperation as a team. That way, later on in class, whenever we have any sort of challenge, we can use that language, such as don't forget to control your body, or are we controlling our voices, and then we can just jump right back into whatever game that we're playing for that day. So I find that games are actually a very strong method for keeping the class moving. Kids are so much more likely to hurry to get to the circle when they're feeling as though that's a game, rather than when they feel as though I'm just standing there waiting as a teacher. And so using games actually speeds up your class all the way through. Another thing that I find is that many people, when they're teaching a game, want to explain the whole game, and kids want to know the answers to how to play because they don't want to make any mistakes. So the thing that I like to do most with class is I like to keep the pace moving through teaching games one layer at a time. So instead of having one game and explaining it all the way through and having the kids get bored or confused, we just start as soon as we can play the game. One of the things that I love most about using games as a foundational piece of our classes is that then the games can become part of the transition process. So we can actually use a game to get from writing to the circle, or from the circle to our desks, or from one game to the next. And so if moving to the circle is a game, the kids want to do it and they're excited to get there, as opposed to me standing there waiting for them to come, and then all that time is lost in the transition. So I think that making the transitions a game is actually one of the most effective ways to keep the pace moving of class. We've all, as teachers, had those moments where we say, it's time to write, and our students groan and they have no idea what to write. And we've also had those moments where we move up alongside a student and they're just so stuck and frustrated. And so what I love to do with play is that when we play games, we're able to actually get the kids moving into answering one question after another. Often the games would give one creative challenge. Can you walk as though you're a penguin? Can you walk in zigzag lines? Can you walk as though you're sad? And as those challenges build, the students start to develop all these ideas. And then when they get to the desk, they have all sorts of momentum and excitement, and that makes it so much easier to get through that initial, I have no idea what to write. So when you start to play games with students, what you'll find is you get them into this very excited, creative space as they're playing the games. And from there, it can be a difficult transition to get them to the focus state that you need them in for writing. And so the way that we handle that is we use a modeling process. We bring kids to the circle, we show them how to take those creative ideas that they've just generated while they're playing the game and use them in a very specific way. Often we use a worksheet and help them sort of filter all those ideas down into something that's written down on a page, and then we model how to take what's on that page and put it into a scene for their writing. Especially on the first day, it's important to make sure you save some time at the end for sharing, even if it's just sharing a character worksheet that the students have filled out. What allows the students to feel brave about sharing is to see immediately, with a very small win, what it feels like to share with the class. And one of the things that's fun about being in a writer community as opposed to writing on your own is having other people have some buy-in to your story. And so helping the kids sort of take that little risk and move into the sharing is a really important piece. Have fun playing your way through your first day of writerly play.